Okay, this presentation is about how to get ideas. Okay. Sir Ken Robinson is an expert in education and creativity, and he tells a story about when his son was 4 years old and in the nativity pageant. And the 3 little boys playing the wise men came out, and the first one said, "I bring you gold," and put down a present in front of baby Jesus. The second one came out and said, "I bring you myrrh," and set down his present. And the third little boy came out and set down his present and said, "Frank sent this." And his point is that kids aren't afraid to go ahead. Even if they don't have all the information that they need, they'll give things a try. And that is really important for their creative future. Okay? And you may be asking yourselves, well, why are we talking about creativity now? Well, Sir Ken Robinson also said that creativity is as important as literacy in our society, and they should be given the same status. And I'll say that again. He said that creativity should be given the same status as literacy in our society. And creativity needs ideas. Okay? And you may think creativity, glue, glitter, arts, crafts. That's not what I'm talking about when I talk about creativity. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about solving everyday problems in new ways. Okay? When my son was small, he refused to eat certain things. And we tried everything that we'd heard of. We punished him for not eating his dinner. We let him go to bed hungry. We saved his food for him so he had to eat it for breakfast in the morning. And none of that worked. He still would not try new foods and wouldn't eat what we wanted him to. So finally we tried something that we had never heard of before. We had try days and don't try days. And some days he could eat whatever he wanted and he didn't have to try anything new. We would just fix him a peanut butter sandwich if he didn't like what we were having. And on other days, we asked him to try at least one bite of something new or something he wouldn't normally eat. And it worked. He suddenly started trying things, and eventually we were able to actually have dinner together. So an idea is combining old things in new ways. Okay? This is by James Webb Young, and Young is the person who I'm basing most of this presentation off of. He had a 5-step process for getting ideas, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about going from being totally clueless over here to having that one fabulous great idea that you need. Okay? So first is research. Okay? To have old things to put together in new ways, you have to have old things in your brain that can connect. So you can read a book, take a class, eat crawfish. When I took the class that first introduced these concepts to me, we were challenged to try something new. And my something new was I went to Kroger, I bought a pound of crawfish, and I learned how to eat it. It was just something that broadened my horizons and my experiences. And hopefully, since y'all are here, you're trying to broaden your horizons and experiences. And you keep learning. You know, they say you learn something new every day. Well, try and learn something new every day. The more facts, figures, experiences that you have in your mind, the more raw material you have to be creative and to have new ideas. Okay, second is ponder. Ponder is more than just kind of thinking about it. It's really studying it out in your mind. You know, make a list. Think out loud. Brainstorm. Whatever you need to do to get those ideas churning around in your brain and getting those things to bump into each other, to mesh and make new connections. You can have a creative space. Someone once told me Mike Myers, a screenwriter and actor, writes all his screenplays in the bathtub. Now, I'm not a big Mike Myers fan, but I thought that was brilliant. So whenever I need creative ideas, you know, bubble bath, here I come. And you can give yourself a time limit. Go to this creative space, whether it's a walk or a bathtub or a room. You know, stay there for an hour, 2 hours. Give yourself time to think. And then relax. You know, sometimes the harder you think about something, the more those ideas just fade away from you. So walk away from the problem for a minute. Give things a second, because your brain will still be working. You have those neurons will still be firing, trying to make those connections. And then, an idea. And probably more than one. The man who wrote this book, How to Get Ideas, goes around the country and gives seminars on how to get ideas. And one of the things that he would do is he would give them an assignment to come up with a billboard for Swiss Army knives. And he wanted them to come back the next day with an idea, one idea for a billboard. Every day, every time, there were people that came back that had no ideas. They could not come up with any. So finally, he decided to change the assignment. Instead of one idea, he asked them to come up with 3 ideas. And instead of overnight, he gave them over lunch. The problem went away. All of a sudden, everybody could come up with 3 ideas. Everybody could come up with them over lunch. Sometimes we get so focused on that one perfect idea that we discard the 10s and 20s of other ideas that we have that will help solve our problem. And then we implement. Okay? This little boy is asking you what good is an idea if you're not going to do anything with it. And now we're going to practice. This is what your papers are for. We're going to come up with a solution of what's for dinner, that age-old question. And so we're going to start with some research. And now we're going to ponder a little bit. Think about maybe what ingredients you have at home, maybe what you know how to cook, maybe someplace you want to go out to eat. You know?
Are we supposed to be writing this down?
Not yet.
Tell us when.
I will. Right now we're just thinking. You know, is something going to give you heartburn in the morning? I have that. And then we're going to take a break, relax a little bit, and I'm going to tell you a joke. What did one flag say to the other? Nothing. It just waved. That's a Boy Scout joke. I have a Boy Scout, so I tell those. Now, write down 3 ideas for dinner.
This pen won't work.
Borrow someone else's.
Thank you.
And now, it's time to make dinner. Okay? As easy as that, we went through the 5 steps of getting a good idea. So now you can go out and get more ideas. Thank you very much.